back to the channel. Today we wanted to do something new and try to do it after every trip that we take. We want to do an overview for you for the Carnival Dream with our experience, food, boarding, disembarkation, basically everything that we experienced. Now I know we talked about it every night or during the day, but I figured this way we could have a video just for that, and we could talk about everything. So if somebody doesn't want to watch the vlogs, they have this to watch to see about the dream, if they want to take that trip on the dream or not.
Or they could watch this one and think, well, that's somewhat interesting or whatnot. So we'll go back and watch them all.
Exactly. So if you found this video first and you find it interesting, please go back and watch the whole Carnival Dream series. It'll be linked at the end of this video. The whole series will be linked. From boarding day until we get in the car and we say goodbye. So, and everything in between. So, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. Stick around. Never know what we might get up to. Who knows?
Yeah.
You know, we always try to do something once a month to venture out around our city or our towns, you know, the state, something that we've never done.
Yeah, 'cause there's a lot of things around our state that I've never done, never heard of.
Exactly. There's one place in particular, once it warms up a little bit, and I say a little bit is because our weather here lately has just been stupid. It was 80 degrees a couple days ago. Now it's 55. It was 45 yesterday. Rain for 3 days straight.
And now it's supposed to get back up into the 70s and 80s.
Yeah,
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow is supposed to be like 74, and right now it's 50. Our weather lately here in Texas has just been absolutely stupid. So, but that one will be outside in the water, so it needs to be somewhat warm. So that may have to wait for a few months. You know, and then if y'all have any suggestions, of course, let us know, and we'll try to go check that out, as always. So, but anyways, let's get into the Carnival Dream. So we left this year on a Saturday. It was an 8-day cruise to Key West in the Bahamas. As always, we go down the night before, so we did go down on Friday, and we stay in a hotel. That way, we only live about 5 hours, give or take.
About 4.5, something like that.
From Galveston, but I'm not going to get up that early, get in the car and have to drive, worry about traffic, something happening, you know, like kind of happened on the way home, which we'll get to at the end, you know. No, I'll just talk about it. We'll just put it in here. On the way home, we get in the car. I don't know, how far did we get? Maybe right off the island?
No, it was a little bit further.
A little bit further off the island?
Yeah.
My car decided to go whoop, and try to overheat. Don't know why. Just had a lot of maintenance done. I just had an oil change done on it right before we left. A few years ago, we've had almost everything replaced on there lately except for the engine. Pretty much.
Yeah, the engine itself. We even have the transmission replaced.
Yeah, the transmission replaced about a year ago. So we couldn't figure it out. And he drives a little bit, and all of a sudden it starts going back up to the middle. Then it goes back down, back and forth. We stop. We put some water in it. It didn't really need much water. We thought maybe it had a slow leak. Nope. Driving. Worked fine for a while. We get
to the south side of Sugarland.
Yeah, right on the other side of
Well, no, we got in the Sugarland, but it was the south side of it.
Okay, so on this side of Sugarland, the Galveston side of Sugarland, and it just plummets down again. So he pulls over, lets it cool off for a while, takes off the radiator cap.
The radiator cap was as hot, because I didn't let it cool down very long, but as hot as it was, there should have been pressure built up.
Yeah, anybody that knows
cap,
anything about that
there
knows.
was no pressure built up. So looking at it, it needed a new radiator cap. But then again, the car is 10 years old, and it's the original radiator cap in dry Texas heat. Yeah, it's
So he filled it up with water, in the radiator, put the cap on, perfectly fine. So it just needs a new radiator cap. But see, if that was to have happened to us Saturday morning on the way, it could have caused us to be late or miss the cruise altogether. So you never know. As well as flying, do not fly the day of your cruise.
Nope.
Do not. Especially recently with all the cancellations of the airlines and delays and all that kind of stuff. Do not fly that day. Fly in the day before or fly in 2 days before and enjoy the city that you're exploring. You know, we drive down, we've already explored Galveston several times, you know. Excuse me, but if that would have been like Miami or Port Canaveral or something, we would have tried to go down at least the day, if not 2 days before, or stayed a day after to explore Port Canaveral. So, yeah, always try to do that. Please, we've heard too many horror stories of people missing their cruise because their flights were canceled or delayed and they didn't get there in time. And then you're out all that money, especially if you didn't buy insurance.
Yeah.
So please always take that into consideration. I'd hate for any of y'all to do that and be out thousands of dollars and you're not going to get reimbursed for any of it if you don't, especially if you don't have the insurance. So we have a little company in our lap.
She hasn't left our side since we went and picked them up.
No, she hasn't left our side. Little man, he's over there laying asleep, but I think he's cold. But they have not left my side, and especially his once he gets home. But yeah. So, anyways, we stayed at, where did we stay this year? Oh, La Quinta West. There's 2 in Galveston. Nice hotel, very nice, clean hotel. Bed was horrible.
Yeah.
The bed was very hard. My back was hurting so bad. My back was hurting so bad and I was so uncomfortable. I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning and I couldn't go back to sleep. He finally woke up at 4 because his back was hurting and he couldn't sleep no more. So we were up, and we mentioned that in the boarding day vlog, that we were both up from 3 to 4 that morning. So it was a very long day because I don't think we even actually got back to the room until like 10:30.
No,
10?
I don't.
No, I think it was like 5 to 10, I think. I don't know. I've already posted that video, guys. Sorry, I don't remember. But we both passed out that night and slept so good that night. Yeah, so I mean, we try to stay at a different hotel every year, but we're finding that if we find one we really like in the beds, that's pretty much where we're going to probably stay every year. But we haven't found that yet. You know how hard it is to find a hotel with a good bed at a good price and you don't pay out the butt for it?
Yeah, they were expensive this year because they had that the high school cheerleading nationals or something like that.
Oh my God, there was kids everywhere this year, girls and everything. We tried to go downtown. Sorry guys, I got to readjust myself. We tried to go downtown and walk around the Strand, and my God, there was groups of teenage girls, or were they college? I don't know. They were either high school or college girls.
They were younger than us.
Well, of course they'd be younger than us. But anyways, everywhere. So that wasn't too enjoyable. But anyways, so the next morning, I always wake up early. I'd have been up early anyways, but got some breakfast, went back to the room, finished packing, drove over to parking. We always try to park at Galveston Parking Cruise and do the inside, because not only is that closed, then there's another gate around it on the outside. I think there's cameras, security that patrols, so your cars are well protected, especially from the weather, because you never know. And it apparently rained really bad while we were gone.
Yeah.
So.
And it's literally across the street.
It's right across the street from the terminal. So, and they will come get you and your bags and at least bring you down to the corner. So that's less you have to walk. That didn't happen to us this year because they were helping other people. And then you just walk across the street and you either go to this way to Terminal 1 or this way to Terminal 2. We happen to be in Terminal 2 this year, which, again, I don't like Terminal 2. There's a lot of people that don't like Terminal 2. I just don't. I don't like the layout. I don't like the area upstairs where you sit to get on. To me, it's more jam-packed. The priority area is ridiculously small.
Yeah, we found that out.
Stupidly small. Because they shove Sweets, Platinum, Diamond in there. Fashions of Fun has its own section. A big section compared to shoving 3 priorities in this one little area. But whatever. Now, we haven't seen the actual priority area in Terminal 1 because we've never been priority. Now, we've had Fashions of Fun, which doesn't have technically have its own area in Terminal 1. So that's kind of different, which doesn't make any sense. You put it in one.
Well, no, they did when we went on the Breeze a few years ago.
Kind of, sort of.
Mm.
It wasn't marked. They were just saying, oh, y'all just sit over there. I'm like, all right, cool. Well, by the time everybody sat down, they were everywhere. There were other people sitting in our area, and then they tried to board with us. And I'm like, no. We paid for this, you know. But anyways, so we got to the terminal 9:15-ish, 9:30.
Roughly, I think we said it in the first video.
Yeah, I can't
Yeah, it was
remember.
like around 9:15-ish.
Yeah.
Give or take.
And we immediately dropped our bags off with the porter, tipped them. Always tip your porters, guys. Typically, it's $1 to $2 per bag. We drop off 2 bags, I give them $5. So, because that way, you know, your bags are going to make it. Now, don't make your porter mad. Do not tip them, because you never know. They could be having a bad day that day and you not find your luggage. Never know, right?
With me, I always say, always tip them anyway. I mean, I've worked in pizza delivery and everything else, and it's a good gesture. It kind of goes back to that saying, don't aggravate the ones that feed you. Same concept with porters or anything else.
I mean, yeah, guys, I've been a waitress. I was a waitress for years. So I know what it's like not to get a tip, and it sucks. I mean, so those porters work hard moving all that luggage around for you all day long.
Yeah, I mean, especially because you've got to think. So, like the Dream, that's what was it, 4,500 at double occupancy times 2.
Something like that. Because you got to think, guys, they're not only helping the ones coming off the ship, you know, get in their cars or get them to the shuttles or whatever with their luggage. They're also trying to help the people that are now showing up to drop off their luggage so that they can go and get in line to get on the ship. So they're getting it at both ends. So always tip your porters. If anything you take away from this video, tip your porters and everything like that. Some people don't believe in it. It's $5 or it's $2. I mean, I'm sorry, if you can't afford that, don't go on a cruise.
Well, that's like if you need your car fixed, you don't want to do it yourself. You just got to pay somebody else to do it.
Exactly. So, and yes, they do get paid good money because I don't know if the porters are. I know like the dock people are, which I guess they're kind of all rolled together. I'm not sure. Are unionized. So I don't know if the porters are part of that or not. I don't know. But anyways, they still make good money, you know, an hour. But that's just a good gesture. Anyways, we stood in line for a while in the priority line with the diamonds, platinums, and the sweet guests. We stood there, I don't know, 45 minutes maybe?
Roughly,
Yeah,
give or
I guess.
take.
And they started letting us in. We went through the line.
Well, the guy that was calling him, he was actually on point about who he was letting in.
Yeah, this one was very well organized outside, I can say, other than years past with Terminal 2. That's another reason why I don't like Terminal 2, is sometimes the outside is not very organized. And they'll just say, stand over here and stand over here. Well, I'm sorry. We've been here for an hour standing in line. You just show up and somehow you're in front of us. I don't agree to that. Plus, they don't make you stand where you're supposed to stand sometimes. So, but this one was very well organized. I was very happy about this one. This year went very smoothly at a Terminal 2.
Mm-hmm.
Once you're let in, we went through the ropes. We went up to customs where they check your boarding passes. We have passports, or they'll check your birth certificates. You no longer have to show them your vaccination card. You no longer have to be vaccinated. This is as of April
Or tested.
2023, or tested. All that's went away. It's back to normal. No mask, no nothing. So once they check that with your boarding pass and they stamp it and sign off on it, go through the metal detectors and put your stuff, whatever you have that you're carrying on, through the metal detector, just like you would go through the airport when you would go through and they check your boarding pass and your ID, and then you go through the scan. Same exact concept, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
You will then go down the hall. You go upstairs to the counters, and that's where they will take your passports again. They will verify the pictures. If there's not a picture popping up, like sometimes, like one year it's me, sometimes it's him. This year it was him, and they'll have to retake your picture. If you're going to do cash, that's usually where you put your cash on, and that will be on your account ready for you once you get on the ship.
Well, you can do that when you get on the ship too.
You
Customer
can.
service, but it's just easier to do it right there.
It's just easier. You're right there and then. Just give them the cash. They give you. You sign it. They give you your receipt. You're ready to go. So you don't have to go stand in a big long line in the middle of day 1 or beginning of day 2 to put money on your account. You already have that money ready to go. Then they tell you a few other things. They give you all your information back. Oh, I'm sorry. You don't go upstairs yet. That was still on the same level. Then you go upstairs to the big waiting area. And you sit and you wait for them to start calling you. What I like about Galveston now, and I can't speak for
Terminal 10.
Well, no, Terminal 10 I think has it, but I can't speak for Port Canaveral or Miami or Fort Lauderdale. But I'm pretty sure they have the facial recognition. So as you come up, you take your sunglasses or your hat or whatever, they scan your face, and you turn green, and you're ready to board. You no longer have to scan your boarding pass or anything like that. So it makes boarding just so fast now. They don't have to sit there and scan anything. It's
Even
great.
debarkation.
Debarkation is the same thing as long as you have a passport. Now, if you have a birth certificate, you have to go in another line, and I guess they have to physically look at your birth certificate and your IDs and everything like that, because that's a little bit different. That's another reason why I suggest get your passports. Because you never know. Plus, it makes embarkation and debarkation a lot easier.
Not only that, like if you're like me, who was born abroad, it's going to take you 6 months and double, triple the money that you to pay for to get your birth certificate versus going down to the local courthouse.
Yeah, his was like $60 bucks versus like $12 for mine. So
that, if you're born abroad and you need a copy of it, you have to go through your State Department versus your local courthouse.
Yeah, and that took me forever to figure all that out and how to get it and all of that. So it's just easier with a passport now. So once you go upstairs, you wait to be called. You wind your way through the madhouse and start walking the gangway over to your ship. So once you get on your ship, please immediately go do muster. Get it done. Takes less than 5 minutes now. They show you how to put a life vest on. You're good. Then watch your video once you get in your cabin. So all in all, from the time that we started getting into the terminal till we actually were on the terminal, on the ship, I think all in all took us about an hour and a half.
Yeah, if anything, it was a little bit faster, but yeah, just call it an hour and a half.
Which I think, since the restart, that's the fastest we've got on.
Yeah. Which from pretty much from the time we got to the terminal, standing outside from when we dropped off our bags to getting on the ship, before they even started letting people check in, that's not bad.
No, it wasn't bad. So, and then once you get on the ship, get your muster done. It's up to you what you want to do. Rooms are not available immediately unless you are a priority, Fashion the Fun, Platinum, Diamond, or Suite. Then your room is ready to go and drop off your luggage, and then you can go do whatever you want. If that is the case for us, we went and we did muster. since we had a suite, ours was ready, so we went upstairs, we dropped our bags off, then we went and ate lunch. We didn't have any bags to carry around.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, always, guys, you're going to more than likely carry these bags around and deal with these bags for a few hours. So you need to remember that. These bags are going to get heavy. They're going to get bulky. And the more you have for no reason, the heavier it's going to be, and you're going to be hurting later.
Yep. There are times where we've changed our overnight bag quite a few times, but we've had one where it straps where I could just carry it on my shoulder, and by the time we were able to drop them all off, I had a big old bruise, I guess, on my shoulder from the strap.
Yeah. So just remember that, guys. You don't need a whole big old suitcase, and a lot of people carry on their suitcases, and I don't understand that because you have to deal with them all day. In and out of the elevators, in and out of the buffet, around the Lido deck. I don't understand that, but if that's what you want, go for it. Then after that, we go and explore the ship. We kind of get ourselves familiar. Now remember, we've already been on the Magic to the Breeze twice, so we were very familiar with this layout of ships.
Yeah.
This is our favorite Carnival ship. Granted, we have only been on this one, the Valor, and the Vista. So, but out of those, the Dream class is our favorite. Now, over all ships we've ever been on,
And the Freedom.
Well, we love the Freedom too. Oh, I'm sorry about the Freedom. But over all ships we've ever been on, our favorite one is Liberty of the Seas. That's one of our favorite ships.
Mm-hmm.
So, but anyways, so that day went pretty good. We left an hour late, which we still don't understand. Nobody explained. I went over that in the video. They just kept bringing out luggage and more luggage and more luggage, and finally we left, which was fine. They definitely made up the time that night or the next day.
Mm-hmm.
Dinner, we were nervous about going to dinner simply because we went and found our table, and we had a huge table, a huge long table. And so we were nervous of what kind of table mates we were going to get.
Yeah, so including us, there was enough room for 6 couples.
Yeah, so 2, 4, 6, 10 people total would fit at the table. And we've either had a whole table to ourselves, two-topper, or we've been with other people. So we haven't really had a table like that before. So we were nervous about it. But we went with it. We said, well, if all else, we just won't come to the dining room if we really don't like our table mates, which would ruin our vacation because we love going to the dining room every night.
Yeah, she said after we found it, she said, you want to go see if we can? I said, no, just leave it. Because, we were literally at the back of the ship, right next to the windows. Yeah,
we had a great view. Well, I showed in the videos, you would have saw the view several times. I showed it to you. But we sat down and we waited for our table mates because we were the first one. And we waited for our table mates to sit down, and we got our first couple, and then a little bit later, our second couple showed up, and that was it. So we thought, oh, okay, great. It'll just be the 3 couples. And we all got to know each other. Found out that we're close to Austin. One couple was from DFW, which is Dallas Fort Worth, and one was from Houston. Originally from everywhere.
Yeah.
They moved from everywhere. And just how much actually we all had in common one way or another.
Yeah.
One couple, she had lived in San Angelo where, his mom currently lives. One couple lived in Utah where he used to be from, around the area. So it was... I would never been in these areas really, so I couldn't talk about it. But just how much, they would say something, he'd be like, "Oh yeah, I know that place," or he'd say something, they're like, "Yeah, we know that place," and it was really nice how we just almost immediately clicked. All 6 of us.
Yeah.
And it was great. We were looking forward to the next night, but we knew one of our table mates, they had the steakhouse, so we knew they wouldn't be there. So we just figured, okay, well, more likely it'll just be the 4 of us. But anyway, so we had a great night. We went and saw the show 80s to the max or something like that, I think it was called.
Yeah, I think that's what it was supposed to be.
We went into it thinking it was going to be a big production show, and it just ended up them sitting on some stools singing some songs. I showed a little bit in the first 40-day vlog, but honestly, we got up and we left because we weren't really enjoying that, and we don't ever do that on any show.
No.
We stay to the end because we love them.
The only thing that I can think of is that from what I had heard around the ship, is that it was literally their first week.
Yeah, apparently they were all new together, which, okay, that's fine, that's great, but you should have been practicing off the ship to be prepared, and they needed a lot more practice. A lot of them sounded very off, out of tune. They weren't all together at some of the points, so we just didn't really enjoy it. And that's not us. We look forward to the show every single night, and for us to get up and leave, that should tell you something. We just simply weren't enjoying it.
Yeah.
And so we went to bed. We woke up the next morning, and we were our first day at sea, and we headed to brunch. Well, I did the ship tour while he was still asleep. Got up, we made our what did we do? We went and got coffee, and then we made reservations for brunch, which took forever, longer than the time that they quoted. Whatever. I was not very impressed with brunch, and usually I love brunch. Usually we go to a brunch every sea day. This one was not very good. Remember, it was only the two of us sitting at a table all by ourselves. And there was two big groups that came in after us that sat down that got their drinks before us and got their food before us. Way before us. By the time that we got our food, my food was nice and cold and just horrible. I ate a little bit and I left it. I think you said yours was okay.
Mine was all right. I mean, I've had better, but it wouldn't stop me from going.
No, we'd go again. No, we didn't go the rest of the week because it already kind of turned us off for that trip.
Yeah, plus we were so busy.
Yeah, plus we were busy, and we wanted to try the other places, for breakfast. Yeah, I mean, I'd go again, but I just was not impressed with Sea Day Brunch this year on the Dream. After brunch, more than likely, guys, I'm trying to remember. I wanted to do this like the night we got back, but it was so late and everything, so our memory was real fresh. But I know we probably went into Ocean Plaza, played cards, hung out, played some trivia. The entertainment on this trip was kind of hit or miss, I would say.
I mean, they had it, but it was just
nowhere near as much trivia as we've seen in years past. Usually it's like boom, 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 boom. Like you'll have 5 or 6 trivias, and then like maybe like an hour and a half later, then you'll have like 4 or 5 more. This was like one every 2 hours almost in some cases.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of cases. At least from what I saw, there was some that were like 2 for every hour and a half, maybe 2 hours.
Yeah, I mean, there were some sea days where...
And then they'd swap it back and forth between the atrium and Ocean Plaza.
Which I don't understand why you have trivia in the atrium. You have the bar there. It's so loud. It's hard to hear. It's even hard sometimes at Ocean Plaza because you have everybody walking by. And then you have the rude people, and please don't be one of these people, that just starts hollering out answers as they go by and laughing and giggling about it, which I know it's all in fun, but this is trivia and you're trying to win a prize. So, but usually those are the ones that's had one too many drinks, especially later at night.
Yeah.
But, yeah, for entertainment purposes, I would say the trivia was kind of like hit or miss. The entertainment and the main theater for us was, there was 2 other shows they had that we had seen previously on many ships. The last one we wanted to go to, which was what was that?
America Rocks or
America
something like that.
Rocks. But if you've seen the actual vlogs, you know by then I'd already got hurt in Nassau and I was hurting really bad and I just did not feel like sitting in those chairs. So we went and sat in Ocean Plaza for a little bit and then we went back to the room. I just didn't feel like sitting. I was tired. I was hurting really bad at that point. And if anybody knows, more than likely those seats, if you sit in the benches, you're squished together, or you sit in a regular seat and you're squished if you're a bigger person. Now, if you're a skinny person, probably not. But I didn't feel like being squashed between me and him between a bench seat, you know, with my bruise on my leg and my hip and stuff. So
Yeah.
I didn't feel like it. So we didn't go. But so us this year for the entertainment in the main theater was a no. We didn't enjoy that part. Now we went to, and I know you've seen it in the vlogs, a lot of the live music in the Ocean Plaza, and we stopped a couple times and listened to the violin trio in the atrium, Buck and Oz, I think, one time in the atrium. I don't remember if I recorded it or not.
I don't know. But,
And guys, go check out what's the name of his channel? I'll figure it out here in a minute and tell you. What was it? What is his name? Oz. He's Oz, right? Oz has his own channel, and he did.
Carrie Aria, Cary, and then it's a space ARIA.
There you go. And he videotapes himself live, you know, not live, but when he performs or when he goes into port and stuff like that. So that does give you another perspective of like the entertainers on the board.
Yeah.
So,
Well, like he posted one literally 4 hours ago. It says he does more like shorts types and whatnot, but he's like a minute that he did that he put together of him in Tulum.
And then
or he'll do videos of going and finding some of the best local tacos and Cozumel.
And he wrote a song called Cruise Ship Crazy. YouTube it. It is hilarious. Watch it. But anyways, so the music was good.
A lot better than last year's.
Yeah. Except for the Vista Rock Band. They were really good.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's talk about Key West. We were supposed to be there at 10. I think we did arrive at 10. For some reason, we were wondering why, and we found out later, we had priority to the embarkation for being a suite. And we thought that was kind of odd because it wasn't a tender port or anything like that. So we were actually the first people off the ship before it was even announced that they were all clear.
Yeah, the minute we actually touched Key West land personally, we heard the announcement. Ship has been cleared. Let's start with, we can go ahead and start the disembarking process.
And we were already walking down the little pier off the boat, so that was great. Come to find out later, the reason they do that is because they consider anything 10 a.m. and later a late arrival, which would give priority debarkation to the priority, like suites. I don't know if Diamond and Platinum did it, if it was just suites. Because when we were at where they had us meet was just all suites.
I don't know.
So I don't know if it was just suites. But anyways, so that's why we found out, because we went to ask about Freeport, why we weren't getting it there, or even Nassau, and that's what she told us. I was like, oh, well, that's good to know. So just a heads up, if you ever have a suite, you arrive 10 a.m. or later, they consider it a late arrival, you're going to get priority over everybody getting off the ship. So that's pretty cool. Key West, we had a great time. We rented the golf cart, the electric golf cart. I recommend to do, just drive around. We just drove around for a while and just kind of got lost. And we saw some of the island that I don't think you would see on the hop on, hop off. We made it all the way out to the airport. Now, I did see the trolley out there.
Yeah, I mean, but there was a couple of times where we went to a couple of places where we used the map. But after that, we drove around. I mean, we found the southernmost point without a map. It just...
Yeah. The only reason we use the map to begin with is because there was 3 specific places we wanted to go, and we didn't know how to get there, and we knew we needed to go so we could actually get there quickly, do that, and then we could explore.
Yeah.
So, and being Key West, you could turn your phones on. But anyways, we had a great time in Key West, got back on the ship. Dinner, now that night was a little different because the other 2 couples that weren't there on the first night showed up. And they were blue card, they were brand new, and apparently they didn't know anything about the dining room, which I don't know, I just find that kind of odd because you have to select your dining time when you sign up, either early, late, or anytime. So I kind of found that odd.
Yeah.
But they were not the nicest people. I'm going to go out and say it. We were sitting there. Now, remember I told you one of the couples from the first night, we knew we were going to be in the steakhouse. So it's just going to be the other couple from Dallas with us. And they came, the 2 new couples came before they did. And the first couple showed up and they said, hey, is anybody sitting, or where is everybody sitting? And I said, well, there's 2 couples in front of us and there was 2 beside us. So what did they do? They sat across from us, or down a little bit, and took those seats. And then the other couple came and sat down by them. So even if everybody had showed up, they would have split up one of the couples the way they were sitting. They literally would have been split across the table because they sat where I told them people were sitting.
Yeah.
So they sat down. At that point, they should have, introduced themselves, and they didn't. They just sat down and they ignored us. So, and I guess we could have, introduced ourselves, but the way that they interacted with us made us not want to do that. And then our other couple showed up, sat down, and they were like, I said, I don't know, they're new. And they sat down. Both of those couples ignored them, completely ignored them. Didn't say, hey, we're so-and-so, anything like that. Those 2 talked, and we talked. We had a great time, of course. It was kind of strange. They were at the end of the table. Not once did they say, hey, how you, or anything like that.
Well, even our table mates from Dallas even tried to introduce themselves to him, and they just got flat out ignored.
Exactly. They tried. He tried. And it didn't work. So they did not show up the rest of the week. And we were all... Now, mind you, the other couple from Houston didn't meet them. They were going by what we said, and they were happy they never showed up. So we didn't feel so bad about not having them there. So I don't know if they just didn't like the dining room experience or what, but we were glad they didn't show up. And I hate to say that, but just don't be rude to your table mates. I mean, you have to sit with somebody, either enjoy it like we did, or just say, hey, we apologize. We'd rather just communicate between the 2 of us. It's nothing against y'all. We're just trying to enjoy our time as a couple away from life. And I'm sure in most cases, somebody's going to say, I completely understand. Y'all have it. If y'all want to join us, by all means, join us.
Yeah.
Okay, we would have left it at that. But don't be rude and just ignore somebody. But anyways, again, every night in the dining room, it took forever to get our food. And I don't know. The first night we chalked it up to, okay, it's the first night. It's always a madhouse the first night, no matter what. But as the week went on, it still took forever to get our food. I mean, they let us in 15 minutes early. Normally they don't do that. They don't really let you in, if you're lucky, 2 minutes before your dining time.
Yeah.
And so they would let us in around 5:45. We wouldn't even get our drinks till almost 6. We didn't get out of there in some cases until almost 7:20, 7:15 every night.
Yeah, but as the week went on, you could tell that, I could be wrong, but it's my opinion. It's because it's a big corporation. I ain't saying nothing's wrong with them, but corporations are made to make money at the leanest way possible.
Yes, they were very short-handed.
So they made in our opinion, I think they were shorthanded, but whether or not that's the way they're wanting to be intended to be. But typically, you have our team of 3 waiters and waitresses that are waiting on, I don't know what call it, maybe 20 tables, roughly. Just I get hypothetically 20 tables.
Yeah, probably.
Where like this time around, you had them almost doing double or triple the work.
And there was really one, the head waiter, and then he had one that another assistant, which they would bring us bread and our drinks, and that was almost it.
Yeah.
And our head waiter did everything. And normally your head waiter takes your food, and that's it. And the other 2 bring your food, your waters, your drinks, your bread, your everything. And so yes, I know they were very short-handed, very short-handed. But our waiter Eric was wonderful. When they would do the dancing and the music, as long as he was not busy at the time getting us our food, he would dance. And I think I caught him a couple of times. I can't remember, but yeah, he was hilarious.
Oh yeah, we were lucky because we talked to him and he said that it was either this week or the week after we got off was his last week of his 8-month contract.
Yeah, he ended his 8-month contract and he was going to go home for a while and then he'd be back and do another 8 months. So he was very happy and very excited to go home, and I don't blame him. You know, after 8 months being all away from, your family, you want to go home for a while.
Oh yeah.
But anyways, let's see. The food there was it was kind of hit or miss. Sometimes it was really good, sometimes it was not. Guy's Burgers, as always, was delicious. Blue Iguana was good. We tried the pasta bella for lunch. Was not as good as years past on some of the other ships. Like last year on the Vista, it was really good. This year, not so much.
Yeah, pasta bella fell short.
Very short for me this year. What else? The deli. We had the deli once. It was good. It was good. It was.
Yeah, but they started closing at like midnight
they're starting to close that earlier now.
So a lot of the time when we were ready, it was already closed.
Yeah. Pizza. We had that a couple times. Carnival pizza's not the best, but it'll do it late at night.
It's good, but I've had better.
Half the time it's either the crust is burnt to a crisp, or it is so crunchy you can't even eat it.
Or like this time, part of my pizza was gone because it burned a hole in it.
Yeah, he gives you a pizza minus this little piece with like half the piece gone. I was like, well, can he at least have another piece to make up for the missing? But yeah, but anybody that's been on Carnival, and maybe like Royal, that compared to Royal, Carnival's pizza sucks. That's why we're excited for next year when we get to try Norwegian, because we heard Norwegian's even better than Royal, and we absolutely love Royal's pizza.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what else.
We tried the Pig and Anchor again. Figured we'd have it. Let them. It's been a few years since they came out, and being from Texas with barbecue, my opinion, and I ain't picky about anything, but
it was not good. The chicken.
To me, the only thing that's good on that from there, in my personal opinion, is the mac and cheese and the chicken.
Yeah, the beans are good, but they're pretty spicy, so I can only eat so much of those. Let's see. We did not do room service this year because simply we couldn't get the thing to pull up in the app, and we had no menu, so we couldn't even call, which I thought was kind of odd. Let's see. Our room steward, he was absolutely amazing. I always heard you got the best room stewards when you have a suite, and that's no lie.
Oh yeah,
he was amazing.
I can never pronounce most of their names. I can't pronounce his name, but he fantastic.
It was fantastic. Freeport, as y'all saw, we didn't do much. We did a little shopping, came back, enjoyed the ship, did some trivia. Half Moon Cay was absolutely beautiful and breathtaking. Cannot wait to go back. We bought those little floaties that you saw us in the water. Um, I will try to link them. I don't know if I could find them. Um, Now, remember, we're filming this before I've done any of the vlogs, really, so I don't know if I was able to link them or find them. Um, so if not, just look up floaties in Amazon. You can find them. They're
Well,
really cheap.
if not, it can always go to Favor or Pair DJ. They got
Yeah,
them.
if I'm unable to visit Life with Favor or Pair DJ, they both have them in their Amazon stores, and you can get them through there as well. The link. Um, let's see, Nassau. We were kind of mixed about Nassau simply because stories we've heard and stuff like that, but we knew we had an excursion. Besides me getting hurt, was just a freak accident. I mean, you can see I'm perfectly fine. I'm just still in pain and still healing, and this is being filmed.
Almost a week after we disembarked.
Yeah, almost a week since we disembarked. So we've been home pretty much a week, minus one day.
Yeah. But the staff was very attentive. The crew was very attentive.
They checked on me, made sure I was okay, you know, and I kept telling them, yeah, I'm okay. My foot hurts a little bit, but I'm good. And I got off on the second reef site and I snorkeled there as well. So I'm fine. I went to the ER and I got checked out because I was still hurting really bad. I got x-rays and I'm perfectly fine. Just really, really deep bruising and jarring around on my back and stuff like that. But that's another reason why I keep adjusting myself is because my back's still hurting. The excursion, we did the 2 reef snorkel by boat. I don't remember how much it was. I think it was like 150, I think, for the total, for both of us, somewhere around there. Absolutely do. Now, I don't know if they go to the same sites every time. I guess it depends on the weather and the water. And the water was a little rough, a lot rougher than they let on. They said it was perfectly calm, and it wasn't, but
maybe by their standards.
yeah, not for newbies. But that was absolutely. I mean, we're already planning for next year in the Primo where we're going to go snorkel.
Even on the one right after that in 2025.
Exactly.
When we go back to the same ports.
Yeah. So we're trying to. Sorry, guys, I bumped the camera. That was absolutely amazing, and if you are able to do it, please do it. It's like as soon as you put your head down and those goggles go under the water, it's like another world just opened up to me, and I was just like, wow, because you can't see any of that. Can't see that from above the water. Sometimes you can, but there I couldn't see any of it.
Yeah.
And it was just amazing. The fish would, come right up to you. The big barracuda we saw, the turtle that we saw at the second site.
Yeah, remember they said that they've never really seen a barracuda out there either.
No, not that big either. I saw one Sergeant Major, which is those long, skinny fish with like the long, pointy noses. He was like, I think he was about like that long. He was long. I saw one of those. A lot of the, the reef fish and stuff like that. I think I saw like an angelfish. I think. Yeah, do it. If you get a chance to do it, if you're able to do it, I recommend doing it. I know my cousin would love that if she was able to go with us this year. I know she would absolutely love that.
Mm-hmm.
Sean will love that too. So, but next time, because we're already planning it. As soon as I can figure out what we're going to do, all I have to do is text her and ask her, hey, how's this sound? Because we're already planning Bermuda here in a few years, and I found one thing to do, and I texted her last night. I'm like, hey, you up for this? She goes, absolutely. So we look forward to our little trips, and we're trying to get more of our family to go. And maybe in videos coming up, future videos, I'll show more of them. But they said it was okay, but I can't just immediately start pointing the camera at somebody like that that's not used to it.
Yeah.
So, let's see. After that, we went shopping for a little bit, and then it started raining on us, so we headed back to the ship.
Yeah, people say that they are very, what's the word I'm looking for?
Pushy?
Yeah, pushy.
Yeah.
they're not lying. They are, but like a lot of them say, just no, keep walking. I mean, it's not.
I mean, don't be
It's
downright
not being
rude.
completely rude. I mean, just say no, thank you, and just keep walking. I mean, they're going
Exactly.
to try to keep asking you, but
And some of them will continue to walk with you and say, hey, come on, give me a chance. And just say, no, thank you, I'm good, and just keep walking. Do not turn around. Just keep walking.
but other than that, like the horror stories, how people say, well, it's unsafe and everything else. Other than people being pushy about buying their stuff, which is understandable, I felt pretty safe. I mean, I didn't.
There was a couple of times I felt kind of really uneasy, but I constantly had a hand on him. Either I was grabbed onto his shirt, or I was holding his hand, or wrapped around his arm. I did not let him go most of the time unless we were actually physically in a store. Um,
But that was
simply,
mainly on that main strip where pretty much walking from the terminal to the Star Market.
yeah, down the main strip. Yeah, there were so many people trying to get you to buy things. I didn't want to get separated from him.
And there's a lot of construction going on still.
Yeah, and all the construction from the terminal is still going on, so it just makes it takes a bigger area, and now you got this little bitty area, and it's
a cluster.
It's a big cluster. Let's see, debarkation was pretty smooth. What happened? What I thought was going to happen when we were called happened. Diamonds got to go by themselves, and then it should have been sweets, then platinum, then faster the fun. But they called sweets, platinums, and faster the fun all at once, and everybody ran and jumped up, and it was a cluster. And people were walking in the door, trying to stand right there to be the first ones out. And I was very happy they made them step to the side, and they stopped them until the people that actually had been sitting down like they were told got to go. I was very happy about that.
Oh yeah, it's kind of like when we were in Halfmoon Cave when we were getting off. The entertainment director, he was down there.
That was almost a knockdown, drag out fight.
Yeah, there was one of the passengers that was freaking out, trying to
pretty much doing something he was not supposed to do, and jump the line, and not wanting to wait until he was called.
Yeah.
And I don't think he had went and actually got a tender ticket. He decided he was just going to go down the elevator and get off. And he was caught around with a bunch of people. And basically the entertainment director had enough at this point. I don't know how long this was going on before we come down the stairs, but we came down, our whole group came down right in the middle of it. And basically he was told, sir, you can step to the side until I get all these priorities off the ship, and then I'll let you go, which is about maybe 10 or 15 minutes, or you can go back to the theater and you can sit there for an hour and a half. He said one more thing, and then the guy stepped aside and shut up, which is how it should be. I don't understand people that do that. There is a reason behind what they do. If 4,000 people head to the elevators and down to deck 0 to head for a tender at the same time, it's not going to work. They can only fit so many people on one tender.
Yeah, everybody's going to get off eventually.
It's going to take time.
You got to have patience.
Exactly. So, but anyways, it all worked out for the best. I think by the time I did it in the video at the very end, but by the time we were told we could get off to the time we walked through the terminal, across the street, down and got into our car, it literally was 20 minutes. That is the fastest we've ever gotten off.
Mm-hmm.
We've had faster the fun before, and we still have not ever gotten off that quick.
No.
So, but overall, we had because I can see the time there. We've kind of rambled on for almost an hour, but we wanted to give you guys some information, and that we still didn't give you everything that we would like to. Maybe over time we can, do another video and give you some tips and tricks and some things that we've learned, because we learn something new every time we go. It never fails.
Oh yeah, I mean it's like the couple that was with us at the table that's from Houston.
This was only their second one.
She said, well, what am I going to do with you at my next one? Who's going to tell me what to eat?
Because she was asking me every night, or him, or especially me every night, what's good? What have you, you've eaten a lot of this, what's good? And I'd tell her. She was constantly asking us and the other couple, because they had actually cruised that was their 9th time, this was our 8th time. So they were constantly asking us questions, and we were telling them, well, this is what we do, and this is what we do. And she's like, wow, you know, you guys have given me so much information, you know, and everything like that. So that's what we want to do for any kind of new cruiser or anybody thinking about cruising. So if you want us to actually do like another separate video with tips or trips, you know, anything that we do to get ready or take or anything, comment down below and let us know, and we'll do that.
Mm-hmm.
I know next year I'm going to get packing cubes. I wanted them this year, but I didn't get to order them in time. So next year we're going to try packing cubes, because I'm trying to get everything down smaller, less and less, and it never fails. Suitcases are still completely full.
Not so bad this year.
They were not so bad this year, because my dresses usually take up a bunch of room, my 2 formal dresses, and I'm not doing the big formal dresses anymore. Now I may do a little bit dressier than I did this year, you know, later on, but it just depends. But I was very comfortable in my formal dress this year, other than years past where I felt like I couldn't breathe. People were constantly stepping on my dress.
Had to think thin.
But so yeah, if you want to see something like that, let us know. If you want to see a packing video, you know, in the future, let me know, and I can do that as well. But overall, we had a wonderful time. We had a wonderful trip. Definitely, we already want to go back. I want to leave tomorrow and go again. You know, the more you cruise, you'll learn that, and that's my happy place. Other than him, that's my happy place.
Yeah.
So when you have both of those together, I'm very, very happy. The only thing that would make me happier is if we got to take our babies with us.
I keep telling her we should take Zoe along. Say she's my emotional support dog.
You could be Mama's emotional
She'd
support
attack
baby.
everybody that causes me emotional distress.
Yeah. So, but overall, yes. Would we go on the Dream again? Yes. Does it need some updating? Yes.
Yes, but that one was
It's an older ship.
built in '09. But then again, everybody needs an update.
Would we change anything? Probably not.
No, because I mean it's just like we've said it before, on the ship, off the ship, and I continue to say it. This one reminded us of, or at least me, of our first cruise on how smooth everything went and enjoyable. It was kind of like almost a pre-pandemic cruise.
Almost.
I mean, there was something that could be a lot better, but that's just nitpicking.
Yeah. But overall, we had a wonderful cruise.
Mhm.
Loved the ports. Cannot wait to go back. So some upcoming cruises, just in case anybody's interested. They shouldn't be changing because we've changed them enough. Next year, we leave March 1st on Norwegian Prima. We do have a basic ocean, well, it's called a large ocean view. So it's a larger room, but it's an ocean view. They have 2 types of ocean views on the Prima. We have the larger one. So it's kind of like the size of a balcony room, but without the balcony inside the room.
Yeah.
So kind of excited for that one. Don't like that it's on deck 2, but that's where all the ocean view rooms are. We like being higher up. But anyways, my cousin is going with us, and we actually have rooms next to each other. When I booked it, she booked the room right beside us. So we've never had like that. We've always been on different floors. This year we had a suite. They were supposed to have a suite when they went with us.
And they would have been like 6 rooms down.
They would have been, 6 rooms from us, so that would have been closest. But next year will be side by side.
Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah, it is a 7-day, but we are going to 4 ports. We have Costa Maya, Cozumel, Honduras, and we're going to Harvest Cay, which is Norwegian's private island in Belize. The following year in 2025, we are going on the Carnival Miracle out of Galveston for the 9-day, going to Key West, Freeport, Nassau, Half Moon Cay, and Bimini, which we've of course never been to Bimini. So we get to go back to our favorite places now and include Bimini. Already looking to excursions in Bimini, and as long as it's available, more than likely we're going to go snorkeling with reef sharks and is it reef sharks and what's the other ones?
I don't know.
No. But that's what I like to do in Bimini. Nassau will probably go swim with the pigs.
Yes, because our table mates from Dallas went and did that.
She said it was absolutely amazing. Cozumel, we're still trying to figure out. We're debating whether we want to do snorkeling, if we want to go do a cenote, stay on the ship. Not sure. Costa Maya will be a beach resort.
Yeah, because Cozumel's going to be busy since
Busy,
we
busy.
swapped the date. It's going to be a lot of people. Plus, the icon of the season is supposed to be there the same day, and it's just going to be extremely packed.
Yeah,
I think we counted 8 ships,
8 or 9 ships or something like that.
and like
So-
I said, icon of the season is one of them.
So that's going to be a very busy port. And
Oh.
20.
It's up. It's mobile.
In 2026, now this one we're kind of debating. We're either going to go on the Jubilee, or if MSC is here in Galveston, we may go into the MSC. But we will be going out of Galveston either way. It just depends on the ship. We really want to do the Jubilee. We also want to do MSC. So we're debating on that one. That one is still kind of up in the air, right?
Yeah, because I mean, a lot of it depends on when MSC is getting through. Because last I heard, of course, I could be wrong. Last I heard is, yes, MSC is coming for sure, and they're going to soak, what I think I said, 110 million
Yeah.
in for the port, but it's where Del Monte is right now.
Yeah.
So you got the main cruise terminal one, and then the oil rig museum in Galveston, and then right next is where Del Monte is. Well, they got to wait for their lease to be up in 2024, so they can start construction and everything else for MSC, and that's where the 4th terminal will be.
And then beside that is Royal.
Yep.
27, we will be going to Bermuda. We've been wanting to go there for a while. And we're going to go.
Okay.
We will be going out of New York. I picked this itinerary simply because this one is 3 straight days in Bermuda. We get there like 9 a.m. and I think the last day we leave at like midnight or something.
Yeah.
Some of the other ones you go to like Halifax or another port, or you only have a few days. But this one we'll have almost 3 full days in Bermuda, and that's what we want to do.
Yeah, and as of right now, it would be on the Luminosa.
No, it's going to be the new Costa ship. They're transforming the Vernonisa or the
Yeah.
one that starts with a V. I don't remember.
The one with the gondola in it.
Yeah, the one with the gondola and
That's
everything
supposed
like
to be
that.
a new Vista class.
Yeah, it's the Vista class that they made for Costa. So unless they change it, that'll be our ship. That's 27, 28. Regardless, I don't care what it takes. We are going to Alaska. We were supposed to go in 25, but like we explained before, financials, when he was out with his surgery and recovering, has put everything we've had to readjust, so unfortunately we had to push that off. Not very happy about it, nor is my cousin, because they're going with us. They may still go, I don't know. We haven't got there yet, but in 28, we are definitely doing that. Beyond that, I'm not real sure. I know a few years after that we'll be going again in New England. When? I don't know. But that is our plan. Now, if we can go on any of them twice a year or anything like that, like towards September or October, we can do that. We are going to definitely do that. We would like to start doing that, but again, financials and stuff like that. I'm sure everybody understands it's a tough time right now. Everything going up, gas and groceries and stuff like that. But anyways, yes, overall we had a wonderful, wonderful cruise. did not want to get off, did not want to come home. Sorry guys, he's a licker. And stuff like that. But of course, we missed our baby, so we did want to come home at least for that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if anybody has any questions, any more questions, please leave them down below. I always answer the best I can. You know, consider sharing this with somebody that's interested in going on a cruise or go on the Dream or to the ports we went to or anything like that. But yeah, anything else you want to add?
Grand Cayman's no longer my favorite port.
What is?
I like Half Moon.
I knew that was coming. I love Grand Cayman, don't get me wrong, but Half Moon Cay, I think, knocked it over. It's absolutely beautiful. Guys, that water and that sound was like walking on powder.
Plus, like I said in the video, the vlog, it's a my size beach for you.
To a certain point.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I can stand up in that water, and I'm only 5'1", and I can stand up pretty far out versus other beaches where I barely go out and it's already up over my head. So yeah, so we're looking forward to our future adventures and everything in between. But yeah, about it.
Yep.
All right, guys, so we're gonna say goodbye. We will catch you in the next one. The man says goodbye too. Say goodbye. All right, guys. And we'll catch you in the next adventure. Until then, bye guys.